Zoran Mamdani is fool's gold in New York City, but I do believe that Americans need to be concerned about him, at least in the short term, and AOC, the squad, and the socialists, the young socialists that are coming up. What does it say about our institutions and our cities that are breeding seemingly these radicals, these left-wing radicals? Democrats are in absolute trouble if this Zoran Mamdani becomes the mayor of New York City. I think it will hurt them long term. He's going to be a total disaster. We talked about him the other day. This guy wants therapists instead of cops. This guy wants affordable housing, rent control. He wants price control as far as groceries are concerned. He's going to be a disaster. He wants a New York to become an abortion sanctuary. He wants anti-hate crime curriculum for kindergartners. He wants $65 million to trans kids. Michael Knowles of the Daily Wire made a great point. This is a Muslim that believes in transing kids. I don't believe it. Let's get into it. This is the Carl Jackson Show, your daily dose of objective truth in a world of confusion and lies. Okay, so this story isn't going away. We talked about it earlier in the week. There's so much going on this week. SCOTUS is coming down with big decisions. We'll get into that actually tomorrow, and we'll release a podcast for you over the weekend with an attorney from the Heritage Foundation, constitutional attorney Zach Smith. So you guys make sure that you check that out and look for that. You can follow me all things social media, X, Instagram, and Facebook at Carl Jackson Show, at The Carl Jackson Show. Please subscribe to my podcast, The Carl Jackson Show, Salem Podcast Network, YouTube, Rumble, wherever you go to get your podcast. The Carl Jackson Show is where you can go to find me. Okay, so the Democrats are in trouble, I think. I think this Zoran Mamdani has a great chance of winning the mayoral race in New York City. I'm hoping that a Curtis Sliwa, or I'm hoping that even a Mayor Eric Adams can pull off a devastating win. They're going to have to coalesce somehow, some way to do that. I think they're going to have to coalesce behind one of these guys to win. You have Andrew Cuomo that lost spectacularly despite spending tens of millions of dollars to become the New York City mayor, and everybody thought that he was going to be the guy. He is not going to be the guy. The only decision he has to make as to whether or not he's going to continue to stay in the race. I didn't even realize you could do that in New York City if you lost the primary. But the question is whether or not he's going to remain in the race and kind of serve as a spoiler and split the ticket, where Andrew Cuomo would be in the race. You would have Mayor Eric Adams in the race, and then you would have Zoran Mamdani in the race, and they would kind of split the ticket, which many say might give an opportunity for someone like Curtis Sliwa on the right to win. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that the left has decided that they are going to double down. There's a lot of energy when it comes to this socialist movement that's happening amongst the young, and that's happening amongst the white elites. Again, many of you have heard the news already that many of the people that are supporting Zoran Mamdani, this guy that is running for the New York City to become the New York City mayor, a New York State assemblyman currently, endorsed by Bernie Sanders, endorsed by AOC originally. This guy is an Islamist. Make no mistake about it whatsoever. I really do believe that we have to be careful and understand the times that we're living in right now. I was reading a story I'll get to momentarily about what's happening in France, the total takeover by Islamists. It's hard to recognize France beyond the buildings, and I believe that that's what's going to happen here if we're not careful. But I do believe inside of the United States of America, I think that the left are probably going to get some short-term wins to our dismay, to the dismay of many conservatives. But I do believe that it's going to continue to hurt Democrats in the long run, because what people are going to be able to do is they're going to be able to continue to look at cities like New York City. If Zoran Mamdani gets elected, they're going to be able to look at Chicago with Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is destroying the city of Chicago. We didn't think it could get any worse after Mayor Lightfoot, and he is. I don't even know. I didn't even think it was possible, but he seems to be almost exponentially worse than Mayor Lightfoot, and she was a complete and utter joke. So we got some video that we're going to play for you shortly here. But the left, or actually the Democrat Party, they're somewhat in a panic because they realize that this guy can win, and they realize, listen, we just went through 2024, and in 2024. every single one of these particular issues. This is no different. These issues that this guy is talking about is nothing different than what Kamala Harris talked about. Joe Biden even talked about at times. These are radical left-wing positions, and they're absolutely insane. These are people, a bunch of young people, frankly, that have absolutely no experience. And then you've got a bunch of woke, righteous, or woke, righteous warriors, if you will, not right, but righteous warriors that are voting for people like Mamdani because, frankly, in my opinion, they don't go to church. They feel moral for voting for a minority. They want to be able to say that Trump is bad. Everything that Republicans do are bad. They want a counter narrative to the church culture, if you will. So anyone that fits that, I think they go for. And this guy, I got to give him credit. When you listen to Zoran Mamdani speak, he's exciting. Everything he says is foolish and wrong, but he speaks well. He's very energetic. If you don't have a clue about politics, like many, sadly, New York City residents don't seemingly, then you may fall for this fool's gold. And sadly, many are. Ironically, Chris Cuomo, the brother of Andrew Cuomo, now with News Nation, formerly with CNN himself, is not falling for this. Here's what he had to say on his show, cut number 22, Gabe, on News Nation. Extremism has taken root in America. There's no doubt he's a little frustrated that his brother lost, and rightfully so. Listen, his brother, I'm in some sense, it's crazy. I mean, like, his brother killed a bunch of elderly people. And obviously he was a chauvinist pig. So he was going to have a hard time. He was going to have a hard time winning. Having said that, I'm not convinced that he wouldn't be better than this Zoran. But anyway, here's what Chris Cuomo, now of News Nation, had to say about the leftist extremists that are taking over the party, not just Zoran, but the AOCs of the world, the kind of the Bernie Sanders juniors of the world. Cut number 22, por favor, Gabe.
The majority is not afraid of migrants, as Trump may like, but they are afraid of these guys, Iranian nationals with jihadist sympathies. You let them in with a laxity that AOC and other radicals insisted on. And the far left is actively embracing people who are the enemy. Pro-Hamas, people who chant globalize the Intifada, the Palestinian uprising characterized by over 130 suicide bombings? Really? And I'm not picking on AOC. I respect her success in developing a following. I just think that she's killing her party. She is a deranged form of Democrat. And I'm pointing her out because she's at the top of the food chain. A recent CNN poll found she's the top Democratic leader who best reflects the core values of the Democratic Party, and this is by Democratic voters. She ranked higher than Harris, Jeffries, Newsom, even Obama. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so
couldn't be less.
Let's pause it. Let's pause that one there. Gabe, I'm going to go to an old clip, if we have it, of Cynthia Gonzalez, cut number 5 from the other day. If we still have it, if we don't, that's fine. Just let me know. But I want you to understand who's taking over the Democrat Party. Okay, we may play that after. Actually, can we play that? Do we have enough time for it?
Not for nothing, but I want to know where all the cholos are at in Los Angeles. 18th Street, Florencia. Where's the leadership at? Because you guys are all about territory, and this is 18th Street, and this is Florencia. You guys tag everything up, claiming hood. And now that your hood's being invaded by the biggest gang there is, there ain't a peep out of you. It's everyone else who's not about the gang life that's out there protesting and speaking up. We're out there like fighting our turf, protecting our people. And like, where you at? Bien calladitos, bien calladitos.
All right, so we can cut it there. Absolute moron. And this lady, in my opinion, Cynthia Gonzalez, should go to jail because literally she just put a hit out on ICE, on ICE members, basically the law enforcement. I mean, it's absolutely insane. But Chris Cuomo makes a great point in that AOCs, and I consider this lady an AOC. Obviously, she's the mayor of Cudahy, California. Hopefully, that won't last long, but in California, Frankly, it may. But this is what Democrats are going to have to be afraid of. These people run these cities and these states. They run them down to the ground. They run the city of Los Angeles down to the ground. They run the outer skirts, if you will, of Los Angeles into the ground. They've destroyed San Francisco and California. They're destroying New York City. They've destroyed Chicago. Yet they're getting elected. And you've got the older guard that has to be concerned, that is concerned with these people. And Chris Cuomo, again, I can't believe I'm saying that he's right, but he's absolutely right. They're going to destroy the Democrat Party. But in the meantime, this is what conservatives need to be aware of. They're going to continue to destroy America for all of us. Guys, who's putting out these people with this type of thinking? Is it our schools? What's happening? We got to get this figured out. We got to get this solved because they're hurting the entire United States. We'll be back. Hey guys, Carl Jackson here. As you know, our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. Mike created the best bed sheets ever. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Mike is offering the best deal on his Giza Dreams bed sheets. You can get any size and any color, just $49.98. That's right. You can even get queens, kings, split kings, and cow kings, any size and any color, just $49.98. Order now because when they're gone, they're gone. Also, for a limited time, when your order is over $100, you'll receive $100 in free digital gifts. All you have to do is call 1-800-858-0263. Use the promo code Carl. Go to mypillow.com. Make sure you use the promo code Carl, C-A-R-L. I don't spell it like the communists. For the amazing offer of $49.98 on the Giza Dream Sheets, any size and any color. That number again, 1-800-858-0263. Promo code Carl. All right, now check out this Zoran Mamdani. Again, just to remind you, this is what this guy, first off, he's an Islamist. He's also a spoiled brat. This guy has not worked a real job. His parents come from wealth. I have no problem if your parents come from wealth. I wish mine did. All right, so I have no problem with that. But he has no real life experience. He has no real life experience. And this guy will likely, I really do believe it's going to be hard to defeat him unless a coalition. And there's plenty of people coming out. You've got billionaires coming out saying, we got to save New York City. I'm ready to throw some money behind other people. You got 50 Cent, the rapper, coming out and offering this guy like $100,000 to just go away or more. But he doesn't need the money. He comes from wealth, but he's a spoiled brat. And he doesn't understand. A lot of these people, these young people, they get hype on these. They get hype on these young socialists. I heard someone say this before. They name it several years ago. Luxury beliefs. You got a lot of people that vote for these people. They have these luxury beliefs, and they're luxury beliefs because it's not going to impact them. A bunch of white liberals, particularly white liberal ladies that are voting for the Zoran Mamdanis of the world, are going to be able to afford to move away or get away from his policies. Unfortunately, it's going to be the people that they leave behind. It's going to be the people that they claim they want to help in the hood, if you will, that are going to be hurt. You guys, do you really think you're gonna? Where is he going to get the money for free housing or affordable housing? Where is all of this money going to come from? These people don't think, they just think that they can tax people like crazy, people that are struggling. Unlike him, since he comes from a wealthy family, they can just tax people to death and they're going to stick around. Oh, rich people are stick around. They should stick around and take it. No. Why should they? Anybody that has money, in my opinion, has a responsibility, even biblically, morally, to make sure that they're wise stewards of money. Now, I fall short of that at times. I'm sure many of you listening to the podcast do as well. But you're supposed to be a wise steward of your money, and giving your money to a socialist for a bunch of lazy people that don't want to work is not wise stewardship of your money, and you will be judged for that morally. Here's Zoran, or maybe, earlier on, I think I accidentally posted on social media. I can't remember. I thought I was saying his name correctly, but I was calling him Zoran Mamdani instead of Zoran Mamdani, his real name. And I think that's more fitting because the guy is a total moron. And I don't say that just to be mean, but really he has no concept except that he's an Islamist. And that's what I'm concerned about. But when it comes to policies, guys, this is fool's gold. This is fool's gold. think about it. When it comes to policies, why would an Islamist support left-wing policies? Maybe he's smarter than I think now that I think about it. Cut number 16, por favor, Gabe. This is Zoran Mamdani wants to get rid of or release a lot of violent criminals in New York. Cut number 16, por favor.
Oftentimes, we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear that what is happening here with these district attorneys, that is violence. That is violence in the highest degree.
Do you understand how dangerous that is? What'd you say, Gabe? You understand how dangerous that is and how naive and foolish that is, and all of the SEALs that are the SEALs clapping behind him actually are more dangerous than him. I mean, now that the district attorney that gets the case after an arrest, that's violence. Controlling crime is violence. Are you listening to this man? Oh, if it's theft, that's classified as violence. Okay, so classify it in a different way, but you don't let these people out. And all of these people, those SEALs that are sitting there clapping, as soon as they get robbed, you know what they're going to think it is? Violence. Man, this is fool's gold. The more, I got to be honest with you, first thinking about this stuff, I wasn't really that concerned. I'm like, screw it. New York City wants to go down the tubes. All right, so be it. But there's a problem here. There's a problem here. And the right has to fight back against this nonsense because this is going to spread. And there may be some people that believe in this guy's platform in New York City right now. But you know what? The real estate market right now, I don't want to say it's crashing. I don't want to be hyperbolic. But the real estate market, people are slowing down on buying, renting apartments and so on, etc. In New York City. It came to a screeching halt the other day, the moment that a lot of New York City residents found out that this guy defeated Andrew Cuomo. Literally. I heard a story of some guy that was in the middle of a deal. He was going to buy an apartment or a townhome, I don't know, something, a loft, something in New York City. The moment that he found out that this guy, that Andrew Cuomo lost, he backed out of the deal and said, we're going to have to slow things down until we figure out what's going to happen in this mayoral race. And a lot of people are going to be looking at that. Who's going to buy property there? All right, when there's going to be rent control. That is absolutely insane. And again, luxury beliefs, because the people that voted for Mamdani, those are the same people that can afford to get away from Mamdani. Is that his name? I don't care. The socialist, the Islamist, the socialist. And I wonder if he really is a socialist or if he's an Islamist, because I'm not sure that they necessarily mix unless he's just dumb. At least they don't mix in all facets. Transing kids, really, an Islamist would say that? That's a little weird. And that makes me concerned because I read an article earlier today from Breitbart, or perhaps it was yesterday. Let me see if I can scroll through. I should have this ready already, but I do not. So forgive me for that. Let me see if I can find it in my phone. Okay. I think this is it. Immigration costs. Yeah. Narrative busted. Immigration costs France 3.4% of GDP. Think tank finds. So this, according again to Breitbart, immigration has failed to produce the promised economic panacea in France and has rather resulted in a negative strain on the economy, costing the nation an estimated 3.4% in GDP, a think tank has claimed. Carl, why are you talking about foreigners? This is a guy that is now a New York resident, so on, et cetera, immigrated here, I guess, lawfully. And now he's rising up, achieving the America dream, because you guys do realize, and I think I spoke about this a week ago, CARE, the Council, whatever, Islamic Relations, what is it? The Council on American Islamic Relations, they backed his race, $100,000, they backed his race. There's some powers that be that are behind this Zoran, whatever, behind this Islamist, this socialist. And I don't think people understand what they're getting. I think that New York City, if this guy is elected, is going to go through a lot of pain. And unfortunately, it's going to have to get really bad, worse than it is in New York City before people wake up. Unfortunately, the people that are going to be victimized by this guy's policies are the people that cannot afford to move away from his policies. That's what frustrates me. That's what angers me. And then how is it that we have so many young, seemingly smart people that are so dumb, that don't understand basic economics, that don't understand what theft is? This man thinks he has a right to other people's money. It's insane. Again, Chris Cuomo was right. These people are destroying the Democrat Party. The AOCs of the world are destroying the Democrat Party. But the problem is they're destroying America. They're not just destroying the Democrat Party. They are destroying America. Again, and honestly, I really think what concerns me is I can picture New York City becoming a France. Again, the Observatory of Immigration and Demography argued that immigration has not only negatively impacted the social structures, within France, but has also come with a budget deficit in which taxes collected from immigrants only make up to 86% of what they cost the taxpayer. The OID think tank attributed this imbalance to the fact that just 62.4% of working age immigrants are actively employed in France, the worst performance of any EU nation except Belgium at 61.4%, and well below the EU average of 67.5%. In contrast, native French workers have 69.5% employment rate. So you have people that are coming in, people that are getting free stuff, and this is what this guy is offering, free stuff. Where is that money coming from? You're going to destroy the economy in New York City as if it wasn't already in bad shape. I just hate that people are going to have to learn the hard way unless those that are running against them get their act together, and they're going to have to coalesce. Somebody's going to have to drop out of the race. Frankly, Eric Adams, maybe he stands a better shot. I don't know. But I'm not convinced that he can argue clearly and intelligently, to be honest, against this guy, even though this guy's policies are dumb. I think Eric Adams has to take them more seriously. But there is good news that his numbers are starting to shoot up a little bit now as a result, after people realize, oh my goodness, I don't want a Zoran Mamdani to run this city. So now Eric Adams is looking good to people. Another option is Curtis Sliwa. But Curtis Sliwa, I agree with Mike Gallagher. He needs to take off the red cap. He needs people to take him seriously. And somebody's going to have to drop out the race if they're going to defeat this guy. This is the Carl Jackson Show.